You are listening to Venus Rose, interactive spiritual Q&A and the power of sound. Music is like sunshine. Hello, conscious souls. How are you feeling? Taurus season has finally arrived. Although the fire is raining this whole year, and the stellium in Aries is still emanating, the fixed earth sign of Taurus has managed to calm down the hot spice of the cosmos, at least a little bit. Uranus, the planet of revolution that rules the sign of Aquarius, whose age of reformation we are currently in, will enter the mutable air sign Gemini in the next days. That will bring in speed again. Uranus is on its way to leave the sign of Taurus, where he changed many things during the past 8 years. Who would have thought that working comfortably from home can become so normal? Pleasure and nourishment are key themes for the zodiac sign of Taurus. That's why I decided to look at our senses, which this sign rules. Whether spring on the northern hemisphere or autumn on the southern, the season of Taurus is about feeling more comfortable. No extremes, please. Nature shows itself in its beauty through vibrant colors. I count many Taurians in my inner circle, and they all have heightened senses. Yes, the Clairs too, with their so-called normal senses as well. One of my best friends does not like to wear gloves, because she is not able to feel as much with her hands then, while she's working. Although this is logical, the connection that she makes through her skin is of most importance for her. The ability to gain information via touch is called clairvoyance. One of my mentees is also a Taurus, and she's very much into what she sees. This is, of course, the sense that the whole society is about. Get the attention of people by showing them things that they can look at. Her clairvoyance is impeccable, and the more she works on herself, the more all other senses will come online. Being able to hold a certain intention is always key when you work with your heightened senses. For myself, I need to concentrate and be relaxed at the same time when it comes to my clairvoyance. Most of the people concentrate only on this ability, since, as mentioned before, the whole world is prone to what they can absorb visually. Many people in my one-on-one sessions want to increase their clairvoyance. And I get that. I've been there when I was young. And it is nothing more frustrating when you feel there is something dormant within you, but it is somehow not working. Things changed for me, unfortunately only gradually, step by step, after I cleared out trauma from childhood and ancestral stuff. It was not only this ability, but all others too, that have dialed up their volume over time. Visiting special places on Earth helped me heal and get into more and more coherent state of being. This allows you to tap into the greater consciousness more and connect even deeper with everything until you literally become the field and recognize that we are all one. Everyone is different. Yesterday, I listened to the podcast A Psychic Story, and Katie Hegel, who also works with sound and angelic frequencies like I do, mentioned how all abilities came back for her in an instant after only one Reiki session. This can be overwhelming as well if you do not have help, but everyone has its own path to liberation. Being clairaudient was always so easy that I have been very cautious until today what I listen to, if it is not a tone or a sound. When I was young, I started with channeling, like many people do, mainly today. In sessions these days, I sometimes get loved ones who have passed on come through, if they have something specific to tell the person that is with me in order to help with the current situation that the being who came to me wants to get assistance with. Claircognizance is the ability to have knowledge where you don't know where it came from. When you know something without making a logical deduction. Many people nowadays call it a spiritual download, which it is. You are connected to Source, Creator, in a way that you get clear insights about a particular moment. That can involve a future outcome, but since we are all tiny parts of the Great Source, we have the ability to change things. But it is not always easy to have enough supervision, so to speak, so we can operate without the influence of our usual indoctrinated patterns. It can also be that you spot a liar or a fraud. One could ask, where's the difference to the intuition we all have? And yes, I would say it is a heightened form of intuition. Yet, it is way more clearer and calm. You simply know, and time usually tells and gives proof. At least, that's how it has worked for me since I can remember. Intuition in general is mostly in some kind of way attached to emotions of some kind, often fear. But with claircognizance or spiritual downloads, it is not the case. Still, it's not always sunshine and rainbows with this ability that was the most present for me, alongside with being clairsentience since I was a small child. Because people do not like to hear truths, especially those they cannot see yet. They can't even fathom something good at times because they don't feel worthy enough, for example. And sometimes it takes years before what you know is universal truth comes to light. So not too easy, and often I simply keep things to myself. Clairsentience is when you sense pain in someone else's body, or what kind of emotion someone has that is not present in your field, perhaps some kind of spirit, or, for example, a ghost. My clairempathy has always come in handy, especially when I work with animals. I am able to understand them better through this ability and learn from them each day. I can be a better ambassador for their owners, help negotiate, translate, and school the owners how to be more sensitive and tap into their clairempathy more deeper themselves. Of course, only if they are willing to truly listen. As a teenager, this was all very overwhelming since you are dealing with the mood swings of your hormones as well. I had help from a psychotherapist who was spiritual and taught me how to understand that a lot of the feelings I felt were not my own. What an epiphany. To learn how to dissect and discern was such a relief and the first steps into managing my spiritual abilities. There are psychics who are able to taste things that are not physically present. In the context of a story, it can be blood, for example, when something has a unique expression that is necessary to be known. It is called clairgustance. With clairvoyance, the ability to smell, it can be similar. It is the most fascinating ability to me when someone is able to smell things in a heightened way. I have a little story about a friend who has this ability. We were introduced to each other by one of my old friends. We three went on a trip together some years ago. There is high energy in this sacred mountain range in Northern California. She was good with her senses and made the most incredible fruit salads I will remember forever. One time in the car she asked if I were lavender perfume or scent of some kind, since she always smells it so intensely when I am around. I told her no, that I seldom wear special perfume due to the work with horses. A good rose oil from time to time, because it is of course in harmony with my energy. But I found it interesting that she asked about lavender in particular, because different psychics have been telling me throughout the years that the main color of my aura is lavender. So perhaps that is the frequency what she was smelling. We spoke about her ability in a different context as well, and she said she never talked about it in depth before. We all have abilities, some more present, others less, but they are all waiting to be discovered. The question around this topic that I receive the most in general is, of course, how can I strengthen my connection to Source in regard to the senses? The connection to Source energy itself is the ability to tap into the senses. What I mean by that is, the more you refine yourself, clear out blockages, and become more in tune with your unique frequency, the more access you get. It is about flow of energy, being able to feel. Meditation helps to calm the noise. I use sound because it's my thing. Check out my YouTube channel named Crystal Seraphim Sounds and take a look if there is something that changes your brain state in a way that helps you get better access. Drop the masks of society. Be the love that we all seek. I know myself that it is way more easier than said than done, and we need support in form of love and clarity in order to realize what needs to be released. How do I know what I sense is truth? Everyone in this world wants proof. Sometimes you get it fast, sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, it takes years or even decades before you get proof. Sometimes you can't be sure for certain. All there is a silent trust. For me personally, throughout the years I do not care so much if someone believes me or not. Even if I'm wrong, nobody is 100% perfect, although the Virgo parts in my birth chart would like to be so. The calmness of not needing to be right or wrong is somehow key. It may sound strange, but there are always many facets to a truth. There are many angles, but I've always believed that there is a higher truth, and I usually aim for that and live my life. Time will tell at some point. Trust is built step by step. To all of you who want to start enhancing your abilities, ask Spirit, ask God, ask your animal friends, or ask the angels to help you learn. They need your permission in order to step in, so they not overstep your free will. You need your focus. Pay attention to your intuition. What does your gut say? Every one of us has the ability to feel, to hear, to taste and smell what is subtle and in between the lines. But the world around us lures us away with distractions of all kinds and forms to numb us in a way. Don't be swayed. Make breaks from social medias. Go outside into nature, plunge into Taurus season, and celebrate the beauty of your senses. I always love to hear from you. Taurus season, it's earthy themes like food, money, pleasure, beautiful belongings, values. You can leave questions about those themes in the comments of my YouTube channel named Crystal Seraphim Sounds or my Instagram. For those of you who do not have social media and love to send questions or would like to book a one-on-one session to go on a soul sound journey with me, send me an email for further details. You can find everything in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you a beautiful weekend. Love to you all. Rose.